Hi, welcome back. My name is Jessica. This is J Gilly Tarot. You may book a personal reading with me at any time at jgilly.com. That's jgilly.com. All right, so let's get into it. When I sat down to meditate today, I was guided to go watch the Justin Bieber performance of the Grammys, and I caught a couple of clips, other clips of the Grammys, and it was so sad to watch what our music industry has become and the siphoning, the energetic siphoning. I feel like with all the Epstein files coming out, there's going to be a lot more disclosure. I mean, we're going to see the fall of Hollywood. And I can't help but feel really sad for the individuals that have been used and abused for their gifts and talents. And one in particular was Justin Bieber. And my heart goes out to him because when I watched the performance, you could literally hear the pain in his voice. It's almost like he's lost some of the range in his voice. It was a bit strained, I mean, not strange, strained. And yeah, like he had lost a bit of range. It wasn't as powerful as his voice usually is. And I don't say that to like belittle or you could hear what he had gone through in the vibration and frequency of his voice and range. And immediately in his energy signature, I was drawn to his stomach. It looked like his stomach was in knots, not because of nerves, but because of anger, compromise, having to do something that went against his own being, his own soul's desire and purpose. And again, it made me feel really sad and it was heart-wrenching to watch. He looked uncomfortable on stage. And the resentment that I tapped into, there was like a gray area. This could be also digestive issues or a poor, like a leaky gut, a permeable gut, issues, sensitivity to foods. But he looked drained and he looked like, I just want to get this over with. Let me do what I'm expected to do and get me out of here. It also was very awkward and you could almost feel a pin drop energetically between the tension when the host of the Grammys came and exchanged with him and his wife. He just looked super angry, like didn't want to be interacting with anyone. And again, very, very sad. Um, I think, well, let's get into it. Let me pull some cards. So the cards that I pulled were detachment. I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. So, feelings about the performance, I just had to be up there and be in my element. I mean, I also felt Charlie Kirk today when he guided me to go watch that. The message that came through as I was watching him perform was imagine what this powerhouse of a man could do if he was given the tools to thrive instead of to tear him down and to like completely disassociate and degrade him mentally, emotionally, to feeling like he's a workhorse or has to perform. Then I got reflection in reverse. So this card says, being away from you has allowed me to gain clarity. The next card I got, and that was in reverse. The next card I got was unappreciated. Yes, I definitely felt that. It felt like you didn't care. Yeah, I feel this so strongly in Justin Bieber's energy and the way he performed. It's just he oozes creative genius. I mean, anything he touches, he's well versed at it musically. And if he was allowed to expand and ascend as he wanted to instead of forced, I think we would see a totally different person up on stage. And it's really sad how much Hollywood controls with evil. and leverage and blackmail. And that was all kind of hidden in his stomach, I saw energetically. I was also drawn to his temples as well, like tired of overthinking it, tired of having to play a mental game of strategy. And I saw a lot of anger connected to his childhood, wishing he could have seen and known what he knew now back then and wasn't manipulated into signing things and not listening to the adults like they knew better. And again, that must come with being a new parent and seeing the eyes or the perspective of his childhood through the eyes of his own child, the birth of his own child. And there's deep sadness there too when I tapped into it. Okay, so I also got twin flame signs. As your twin flame, I mirror what you're going through. Notice how we are similar and share the same vision. There's a connection between us that can't be denied. We have to work on ourselves to be together. Look out for signs. I'm sending them to you. So this could be that someone he shared a deep spiritual bond with that understood him in a way that no one else could. I feel like this is a person from his past and not in his energy currently. Seeing something, a past relationship romantically through a new lens and maybe why it went wrong, where he was at in his journey, where he was pulled away. I also saw an energy of like a new handler energy. It was like a white, overweight. He had a big pot belly and salt and pepper, grayish hair with blue eyes. There was like a new handler energetically off in his aura in the back that was like pulling strings or trying to control him in some way. Like he was always looking over his shoulder or was getting feedback, or this person was constantly like the elephant, like, tamer kind of thing. Telling him where to go. Oh, you can't do that. You have to do this. And it looks like it was kind of stressing him out, this relationship of control or intimidation was something I got. Then I asked about the performance and pulled some cards there. And I got apathy, contemplation, and that's again confirms and validates what I was feeling about the temples, being pulled to his temples. He just felt disconnected, like out of body almost experience being there. Did not want to be there at all. That was like that came so strongly to me when I was tapping into his energy. It looked like he was feeling imbalanced, just wanted to go crawl under a rock and go home. Overextended, and maybe he felt like the planning process or the prep process wasn't to his liking. It looks like he's very detail oriented and wants a certain sound, wants a certain vibe, and it didn't go how he requested. I do feel like he wants to go traveling, so I don't know. We'll have to look this up later on. I definitely felt like Charlie Kirk was like supporting him in some way, empathizing with him and understanding in such a different perspective on the other side what he's had to deal with from a very young age. Being at the mercy of adults and still now being kind of like trapped and used and abused and exploited. Then I got the Two of Cups in reverse. So maybe he's walking away from certain partnerships that don't honor his path. And good on you, Justin, because I feel like you have to start speaking your truth. Stop getting backstabbed by people you can't trust. Protecting your peace and energy at all costs. Also, the number 10 is sticking out at me, 1010. So maybe a new cycle is arriving and an old one is ending and leaving. It's almost like I'm seeing he doesn't care about success. He doesn't care about money. He doesn't care about failure. He was put on this earth to make music. and to create. And it doesn't matter what he creates as long as it comes from his soul or his heart. And his heart looks like it's just really hurting, just wanting to be able to find a good egg that he can trust. Maybe his inner circle is all about the clout and they all make a dime off of him and what he makes and creates. He looks like he's trying to get focused on his health and get to a better place there. Again, those stomach issues, I feel, are kind of like overtaking right now his current state, whether he's aware of it or not. It looks like a lot of things are stemming from his gut issues and mental anxiety, overthinking, worry, fear. Looks like there's a lot of anger towards his mother figure as well, and the lack thereof when he was a child, the lack of guidance, maybe. And sometimes he represses his intuition because he doesn't want to be disappointed when people show their true colors. There's a lot of forceful people around him making the decisions. But what I see in the future, if he kind of comes out and fully discloses every wrongdoing that's ever happened to him, he will get wishes coming true and fulfillment. So almost getting released into the wild to create as he sees fit. When do you think this is going to come around, Spirit? I heard a yes. That's true. In the water season. So will this be like May, like end of May? End of June? End of June. Wheel of Fortune. So there's something he's like really contemplating and strategizing when the time is right to pull the trigger on this. And I'm seeing June. Fascinating. I also got the weird download that in February, maybe near February 17th, that other people pulling the triggers that are big names in Hollywood will prompt him and give him the courage to do the same. It also feels like it's other child stars that got trapped into Hollywood early on. He's planning. He's definitely planning. He's finding momentum and confidence in himself right now. I'm sure his sacred space and happy place is music, right? Just being in the flow, off the cuff. And it's like I get a sense that he is wanting to spend more time in his spirituality, relying on guidance from the Most High. And he'd like to just tell a lot of people off, give them a good piece of his mind. Yeah, there's an energy of rebellion that's coming out this summer from him, for sure. And this will be the end of his stomach issues, I feel. He is planning something strategically based on his son, not wanting to put his son in harm's way, which I totally get. There's a lot of moving pieces here. A lot of mental moving pieces as well. What else can you tell us, Spirit? What are his hidden challenges in this full disclosure or speaking his truth? I'm also getting the year 98 was significant in his life. Was he that? Is he old? Is he younger than that? I don't even know. I'll have to look it up. But 98 was significant. Yeah, there's a contract, hidden challenges, obviously. The Hollywood contracts. And it looks like they might say go revert back to addictions, mental health illnesses, um, and suppress them in some way with power and leverage and blackmail. He knows this, but oh, look, I'm seeing on the side, I am not a puppet. So there's an um an energy of rebellion right now in his signature, his energy signature, where he wants to go against the grain and doesn't want to be puppeted. The number 15 is already is sticking out at me, so um I just said already, so that's a Freudian slip. That's like a channeling. Like when he was 15 years old, he was already maybe manipulated to sign that contract that's been over his head for a very long time. He's getting a lot of messages in the dream state, a lot of guidance, I would say. He feels there's no way out, but something's shifted where he's getting the courage. As more people come out and get exposed, he's finding momentum and courage and confidence with this. Major choices are coming up. They're also going to come in, the dark forces are going to try and manipulate and tempt him with other offers as well. Will he take them? No, because he knows they're burdens to carry. He may be selling some property soon and finding independent wealth. That's really good. Yeah. He's tired of the materialism. It's unjust. Some people are being very corrupt and dishonest around him. 12 people to be exact. It's like they're circling piranhas. Feeling trapped, confined, self-limiting, yeah. He just wants to be able to create something as if there's no money at the end. Just for him. I say do it. Independent wealth. It'll create independent wealth. There's also like someone from the other side that's been like coming to his dreams that's like a grandmother figure, I believe. Or someone that was like gave him great guidance when he was a child and no longer living, that maybe was like a motherly figure when he felt he didn't have a mother's guidance. This person is really guiding him from the other side, helping him to have good business decisions and good business sense for his mental well-being. He wants to move forward, but he knows he's up against a huge authority figure. This might be this overweight white man. There's a new collaboration that's coming in that's going to give him the confidence to step forward, and he'll be able to sleep at night. I feel like he's not sleeping at all. Yeah, creative expression and transition. So this woman on the other side that's like a motherly figure or grandmother figure, I feel like she's not like blood related. I feel like she was just someone that was very nurturing and saw that he needed that guidance or sturdy hand of insight and nurturing. And it's like when he was like really young, when he first started out, and this person guides him, almost feeling like she puts her hand on his shoulder or his back when he's alone and feeling defeated. Also, when he was 17 years old. Yeah, and I see there's a huge trip coming up where he decides he wants to forge his own path independently. and there's prosperity at the end. So, will we get truth from him? Yeah. He wants to return to his old self, is what I'm getting. So, I'm sending good vibes out there. I really hope that this, finds who it needs to. Sending you love and light.